afternoon, everyone. It's my great honor to be here to give this presentation on behalf of Professor He Guoqiang. I'm from Science and Technology and Combustion Internal Flow and Thermostructure Laboratory in Northwestern Polytechnic University. The name of my presentation is Research Programs in Rocket-based Command Circle in China. Firstly, let me introduce my team and the work we have done. We're managing combustion and the propulsion and heat transfer, mass transfer in the propulsion system, and energy and the fuel, and materials and thermal protection. We have a big team. We have 15 people. 15 people now in our team, and Professor He Guoqiang is the leader of our team. And this is the picture, but the pictures quite a long time ago. As you see, I have my appearance changed a lot in the past few years. This is my outline. First introduction. Rocket-based command circle is a single, full integrated engine comprising of rocket, ramjet, and scramjet, and has long been identified as for its potential to space transportation in the future. The rocket-based combined circle is a truly combined circle engine, and it can be operated in various modes. I think that is rocket mode, ramjet mode, scramjet mode, and rocket mode. And this has high safety, reliability, and flexibility. That's the character of this kind of propulsion. Rocket-based command circle can get better performance throughout the whole flight region, from the ground to the orbit. It has an integrated flow path, one flow path to adapt all the all the modes, and sometimes it needs a variable structure to meet the requirement of the incoming flow, and it has multi-mode transition and multi-parameter controls. Combined circle combines advantages of conventional rockets and air-breathing motor to greatly enhance performance and operational flexibility. And this can reduce cost and improve reliability, safety, and efficiency of the propulsion system. For the potential application of the rocket-based combined circle, it can be used as the first stage of the TSTO, that is two-stage orbit launch vehicle, and also can be used as the second stage of the TSTO launch vehicle. And as 1990s, the first time the rocket-based combined circle, the concept of this kind of propulsion is bring out. Mostly they're talking about the propulsion, the application about the SSTO, but in the recent years, we think that SSTO is not applicable because of the very high fuel consumption during the takeoff stage. It also can be used as the propulsion for a near space vehicle. Because the thrust of the combined circle can be changed according to the operation of the rockets. What we concern on the combined circle, firstly, there subsonic flow, supersonic flow in the flow path. So there's a lot of questions about the flow, combustion, and interaction between flow and combustion. The rocket play a crucial role in the working process of the rocket-based combined circle, and sometimes we use a thermal choking technique to get a better performance of of the propulsion system. And then the extension of the Mach number range requires some derivation of the propulsion stream tube geometry to obtain acceptable performance. Because the incoming fluid changed dramatically during the flow path. And development of the autonomous guidance, navigation, and control capability, allowing maximum down and cross range flexibility for a wider family of flight trajectories, as well as fully innovative avionics. And the research group of MTU focused on developing an advanced rocket-based combined cycle propulsion system with good operating performance and effective mode transitions. Everlasting effort has been made in the development areas to achieve this goal and to cope with the technical challenges. So the primary objectives of the RBCC research in our team in NPU is firstly, we designed a rocket-based combined cycle engine with a suitable flow path adapting to various operating modes under different flight Mach number conditions. And the second, developing an advanced suite of computational modeling and simulation tools for predicting combined cycle flow physics. And last one, conducting experiments to offer insight into the fundamental physics of the complex flow in RBCC propulsion systems and to provide detailed data sets for the development and the validation of the modes of combined cycle flow physics. Study method and analysis tools are as important as the development of the vehicles. So we have the final goal of our research is to hold a flight demonstration of this kind of no propulsion method. And the ground testing plays a very important role in the development of a rocket-based combined cycle. We construct engine, RBCC engine, and test the direct contact test facility in our university. And we also do the free jet wind tunnel experiment in other units, in other institutions. So the effort made on the technical challenge with a wide range number, Mach number from takeoff, Mach 0 to Mach 7, and we do concept study, component and subsystem study, and ground testing to support the future flight testing. And so this is a milestone of the research activities on RBCC in our university. In the year 1999, when I was a PhD student, we first focused on this concept, and during the first 3 years, we were mainly concerned about the thrust augmentation in the static state, that is the Mach 0, Mach 0 ground state, and do a lot of experiments and pragmatic studies on this mode. And in the year 2014, after over 10 years efforts, we designed the prototype of rocket-based combined cycle and did the wind tunnel experiment, the free jet experiment to demonstrate the performance of rocket-based combined cycle. And now we are doing the research work on the the wider range, as we extend the flight Mach number to Mach 7. So significant achievement have been made during the past decades. Rocket-based combined cycle is featured as a highly integrated system where the aerodynamic and propulsion functions are strongly coupled, while thermal protection requires the multidisciplinary consideration of aerodynamics, material response, and the structure loads. Nevertheless, the scientific challenge to the achievement of the combined cycle capabilities also requires the integration of contributions from a variety of scientific disciplines, including fluid dynamics, chemical reactions, thermophysics, high-temperature materials, computational science, and diagnostics. Thus, the fundamental studies on rocket-based combined cycle and the ability to effectively and accurately predict the performance of RBCC become a key issue for the advancement of system design and analysis capability. That's the third part of my speech, fundamental studies on RBCC. The first is the RBCC vehicle design for orbit access. We have developed design method and analysis tools based on the multidisciplinary observation with a wide range of flight Mach number, including the geometry of the vehicle and the property of the propulsion system and thermal protection system of the entire vehicle. The second work is the ejection mechanisms and the enhanced mixing. Efficient ejection based on the rocket jet to achieve thrust augmentation, especially in the static situation of this kind of propulsion. In the first 3 years, our work is mainly focused on how to increase the ejection ratio and the thrust while in static condition. And we also do some experiment using cold flow method to investigate the ejection mechanism of the primary flow, that is the rocket flow. And we try to find some mixing in enhancement method in the confined space, that is in the segment combustor of the RBCC, and do some research on the turbulence combustion shock of interactions, because nowadays our models is a small model, so the interaction, the wave interaction must be considered. And the third one is the combustion organization and control. And combustion is the most important part of the propulsion system. So stable combustion in the single flow path within the flight Mach number range must be achieved. And because of there are a lot of modes, so the mode transition is also important. The successful and the smooth mode transition is also important. And during the transition stage, we must develop the control method to obtain better performance. And in rocket injector mode and the rapid mode, high combustion efficiency based on thermal throat in our system the thermal must be investigated because we use a divergent flow path geometry to meet the requirement of the scrambled cross, and available method to control thermal throat by adjustment field injection. We've done a lot of research on the field injection and how to adjust the position of the fuel injection and the mass fluid of the fuel injection to generate thermal throat in injection mode and rapid mode. And after over 10 years of work, we designed the full type of the vertical combustor circle, including the inlet, the combustor, the feeding system, and the afterbody. It's a whole integrated motor. Like so we did the experiment in the wind tunnel to demonstrate the performance of RBCC in rapid mode, and using rocket by adjusting the start rocket, we fulfill the mode transition. And thermal protection and erosion mechanics are very important when if this kind of a propulsion system can be used in the real flight conditions. So we did a lot of simulation work to and experimental work to find how to protect the motor during long time operation. A simulation method to predict the thermal load. This works including simulation method to predict the thermal load in the RBCC vehicle, the thermal protection method for RBCC vehicle, and the erosion mechanism for the composite material in RBCC engine. And we also do research on the variable geometries of RBCC because the very wide flight Mach number, the geometry of the inlet must be changed to meet the requirement of the change flight method to get the better performance of the propulsion system. And the afterbody, we also do some research on the afterbody to get a better performance. Numerous studies have been conducted to understand the turbulent flow and the combustion by using RANS, large area simulation, and direct numerous simulation. We have other papers to introduce this kind of work. And optical diagnosis have also been conducted to further understand the combustion and to validate the simulation results. We use the digital picture processing method and tunable diode laser spectroscopy technique to detect the working condition in the rocket-based combustor circle. So let's come to the conclusion. Rocket-based combustor circle propulsion is recognized as a promising technology for reusable space launch and optical endeavors. The research group of NTU focused on developing a advanced rocket-based combined cycle propelling system with good operating performance and effective mode transitions while investigating in diverse areas ranging from RBCC system development to basic research on topics such as aerodynamics, propulsion, analytical modeling, materials and structures. Parallel studies in combustion, in turbulent flow, aerothermodynamics, diagnostics, materials, designs and control has made substantial contributions to the development of RBCC. And further research will focus on optimization of RBCC engine with suitable fuel path adapting to various operating modes and different flight mechanism. And our final goal is to demonstrate this kind of technique using flights using flight demonstration. Thank you. It's a little bit fast.
Thank you very much indeed. Are there any questions? If none immediately, I wonder if I could start. You emphasized how important the modeling and simulation was. Did you experience any significant changes from the modeling and simulation predictions when you came to do actual testing?
Yeah, before we design a new injection scheme or a new geometry, we do a lot of numeral simulation, and then we decide which is better and choose this kind of geometry and injection scheme.
And if I can ask another one. If you were looking for any advances in materials to help your design, what would those advances in materials be?
Material science is very. In our university, we have the material science school of material science. They can provide some advanced materials like ceramics, SiC, carbon silicon ceramics, and we use these kind of materials in our test bed too. I think so that there are two purposes. Firstly, to demonstrate the structure, the cooling technique of our approach, and secondly, they want to know the performance of their new material in the new fire conditions.
Okay, so I have a question. Can you share your experience about how to make transitions smoothly between the modes, between different modes? We mainly do research on the transition between ejection mode to reactive mode, and the most important part is the change of the change of the operation condition of the primary rocket. So the mass flow rate of the primary rocket must be changed smoothly. Okay.
You mentioned that you have studied the ejector mode. I think it's maybe one of the most challenging part of this research in RBCC. Could I ask, are there still some obstacles or challenging issues in the ejector mode in your study?
Yeah. our work began with ejection mold in 1999. Yeah. And at that time, we didn't take care about the geometry of the inlet. So there's a wide open inlet, and it's quite easy to achieve high ejection ratio and high specific impulse preference. But when the work goes on, the inlet must be taken into account. So it's quite different. And in these years, we do a lot of numerical and experimental work on this part. Yes, it is quite different. Not easy. Because from takeoff to around about Mach 7, it nearly consumed half of the propellant, half of the propellant. So the performance of this stage is extremely important.
Any more questions? In that case, oh, yes.
Doshima from JAXA. Thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. Thank you. And I'm watching for several minutes the picture, and it seems to me the engine is kind of in a vertical setting, like some height is a little bit large, and so why did you decide or design something, the shape, something like that? Because the big was very high speed, so you probably the thin shape is much better than the thick shape. That's my question. Thank you.
This picture is not the real configuration of our research. There is our final geometry of the vehicles is basically like this. There's the picture, like this. So that picture is a little bit exaggerated.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I think we would like to all thank you, firstly, very much for an excellent keynote talk. Very much appreciated, very interesting, and a great way to start our keynote talks. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you all.